Tools in Select Studio, allowing for basic and advanced manipulation of images and text. These include selecting, moving, resizing, even deleting images and text. The Selection tool will be used mostly for these actions. It is this top tool on the Tools section on the right-hand side of the window. This is probably the tool you'll be using most. The reason we say this is because after adding or creating an image, it is inevitable that you'll want to resize or move that image around. Because of this, after a shape is created, the software will automatically switch to the Select tool. Once the Select tool is in use, any image can be selected by clicking on it. To select more than one image, we can hold the Shift key down on your computer keyboard and continue clicking on other images we wish to select. Multiple images can be selected all at once by clicking and holding your mouse pointer above an image, and then dragging your mouse. A thin rectangle will start to form. The idea here is to enclose all desired shapes to be selected within the rectangle. It has to enclose a complete image for that image to be selected. If only a part of an image is within the rectangle, it will not be selected. You'll know the image is selected because these 8 square points will appear along with the dimensions of the image. Once all images that we want are selected, we release the mouse button. If we need to select all the images in the workspace at once, multiple images can be selected all at once by clicking and holding your mouse pointer above an image, and then dragging your mouse. A thin rectangle will start to form. The idea here is to enclose all desired shapes to be selected within the rectangle. It has to enclose a complete image for that image to be selected. If only a part of an image is within the rectangle, it will not be selected. You'll know the image is selected because these 8 square points will appear along with the dimensions of the image. Once all images that we want are selected, we release the mouse button. If we need to select all the images in the workspace at once, we can just press Ctrl A or click on the Edit pull-down menu and then click on Select All. To deselect an image is a matter of simply clicking outside the selected area. If multiple images are selected and there is a need to deselect just one image, we can then hold the Shift key and then select on the image or images we need to deselect. Once an image is selected, it can then be moved. To move an image that has no fill, similar to the image on the right, then click, hold, and drag to the outline of the image. As you can see, if we try the middle, nothing will happen. Images with fills like the ones on the right can be moved by clicking anywhere within the outline. As mentioned, when an image is selected, you'll see these 8 points, or what are called grab points. These grab points are used to resize or stretch selected images. The 4-corner grab points are used to resize the image symmetrically. In other words, it will keep the shape of the image proportional as it is being resized. To resize the image, click and hold a corner grab point, and then drag the point, and the image can be made larger or smaller as we move our mouse. If the Alt key is pressed as we resize the image, it will resize from the center point of the image. When the image is to the size we want, we can release the mouse button. The other grab points on the top, bottom, and sides can stretch or compress the image horizontally using the side grab points, or vertically using the top and bottom grab points. And once again, holding the Alt key will stretch the image from the center. You've probably noticed this green grab point below or alongside the other grab points. This grab point is for rotating your images once they are selected. This grab point will always be available whether you have one image selected or a group of images selected. When selecting an image, the dimensions of the image will appear. These are there for us to see an image's dimensions as we resize the image. To delete an image is a matter of selecting the image and then pressing the Delete key, or by clicking on the Edit pull-down menu and selecting Delete. So far, we've shown how to adjust images visually by using the grab points. On the other hand, what if you need to adjust images using specific values? For instance, what if you had to rotate an image 45 degrees or adjust the size to be exactly 2 inches? Silhouette Studio has provided sidebar options for this, and it's these 3 buttons you find at the top of the window. The first button is for moving an object to exact locations. When we open this sidebar, we are given options to move by nudging it right, left, up, and down. If you need to move the image a specific distance from its current position, you can enter distance values here. Let's move this square 1 inch over and 1 inch down. Then click Apply. Here it did exactly what we wanted by moving the square the specified distance from its current position. The Move To option will move images regardless of present location to a specific plotted course on your workspace. The way this works is the origin point of the drawing, or what is called the 0, point, is located in the upper left-hand corner of your workspace. When entering values in the Move To fields, the image is moved out either to the right or downward, as these values increase from the drawing's origin point. To demonstrate this, let's enter the same values of 1 inch wide and 1 inch down. Then click Apply. So instead of moving the square relative to its current position, we move it relative to the origin or corner point, which is, once again, in the upper left-hand corner. The next button on the toolbar opens the Rotate sidebar window. When this sidebar opens, we are first given specific rotations of 45 and 90 degrees clockwise, and then 180 degrees, and finally 45 and 90 degrees counterclockwise. Clicking any one of these will rotate the image from its current angle. Let's click on 45 degrees. When we continuously click on it, it will continue rotating. The Rotate To section will rotate selected images to a specific angle. These are in 90-degree increments. If you need a specific angle, the angle value can be entered in the 2 entries below. Whether to rotate by a certain angle relative to its current angle, or to a specific angle. The third button in this group opens the Scale window, which refers mostly to sizing by percentage. Here we can set the scale to specific sizes from 33% to 300%, with an option to enter a custom size. Below that area are 2 values if we desire to enter a specific width or height. The Lock Aspect Ratio will make sure the values stay proportional. Make sure this is checked if you don't want your image to stretch. Now, when entering one value, the other value is adjusted to make the image size proportional. What's nice about these 3 options is that they allow us to manipulate objects visually or by specific values. The next 2 buttons will be discussed later. When images are created, there are times we need to adjust the shape of the image. Here we have a shape of a heart that was hand-drawn with a curve tool. As you can see, it's not a perfect heart. You may be saying to yourself that there are better hearts in the library or in the online store, and that's true. But for demonstration purposes, we will use this heart image to see how easily it can be reshaped. Let's start by positioning the top center corner of the heart directly over the bottom corner of the heart. To help improve our alignment, let's turn on our grid by clicking on the View pull-down menu and then by selecting Show Grid. Next, to edit the point, we need to get into the Edit Point mode. This is done by selecting the image and then clicking on the Edit Point tool. The points of the image will now appear. Now we can take the tool and click, hold, and drag on the point we want to move, and move it right above the lower point of the bottom of the heart. Let's also sharpen the bottom point. You'll notice as points are selected, there will be 1 or 2 grab point arms. These points are for adjusting the curve. And note that dragging either one will adjust the curve, but can't adjust it to make a corner. That's because the grab point arms are in what is called smooth mode. We need to change them to corner mode. This is done by right-clicking on the point that the grab point arms are attached to, and this little pop-up menu appears. One of the choices is smooth, which it currently is set to. We need it to corner, so let's click the corner choice. Now we can move the grab point arms to adjust it so that it looks more like a sharp corner. Let's adjust the other points so that it looks more symmetrical. Notice that the little menu also has other options. Here we can delete a point, breaking the path, making the image into an open shape. Further on down, we can make a segment flat or curvy. And just right-clicking on a line segment will add a point. If you're wondering how to know when we are going to edit a point or a line, this is simple. As the tool hovers over a point, it turns black. If the tool hovers over a line segment, the tool icon turns into a tiny line segment. Next to the heart we just reshaped are these 2 heart images that were taken from our library. Well, these are nice. What if we didn't want this bottom loop? There are 2 other tools that we can use that will help us with this. The first is the eraser tool. With this tool, you can easily erase any part of any line image. With open images, it will just erase the segment. To demonstrate this, we will erase the middle of this line segment. Now we have 2 separate segments. With closed images, when erasing a portion of the image, it will keep the image intact. In other words, it will keep it closed. Notice what happens to this middle heart as we erase the bottom loop. To get a closer look, let's zoom in. With the loop removed, we can now adjust the bottom to a sharper point, and perhaps delete some points. The other tool below the eraser is the knife tool. As you will see, it is more suited for this task. Let's pan over to our last heart, and then click on that tool to demonstrate. What we'll do is slice through the loop at an angle. Next, we'll select the portion we just sliced and delete it, and then delete the whole. Now we can slice in the other direction. Delete the sliced portion, and now we can move the lower point so that it lines up.